Hey guys, sorry I haven't had a video in a while. I've been doing slate roofing, so it's kind of tough work. So I've been looking into this a little bit. Um, the Harry Reid
Former
thing.
Nevada Senator Harry Reid says he's proud to have played a part in authorizing a secret Pentagon study of UFOs, a study that
Secret.
helped bring
It's not
videos like
secret
this to
anymore.
light. Thanks for joining us here tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
And I'm John Langler. Christian has the night
Disclosure,
off. The
guys.
existence of this UFO study was first reported by the I-Team back in October. That's when a high-ranking
Back in
intelligence
October,
officer
guys.
in charge of the program
Why are they?
quit to take
Why
a
is
job
everyone
with
so
a private
excited now?
company.
Over the weekend, news of Reid's role in the study surfaced in news reports. The senator gave his only on-camera interview.
Why would he only give one
Well, we
interview
can say for
too?
sure that Harry Reid's interest in UFOs dates back at least to 1989, because that's when my own conversation on that subject began. In the years since, he has quietly
Because that's
collected
when
more
you started
information, met with
questioning it? That
scientists,
doesn't make sense.
intelligence officials, and other experts, and finally helped authorize a study that was carried out by a company created by a Las Vegas billionaire. Since the story
Oh yeah,
broke on
Robert
Saturday,
Bigelow,
Reid
male
has been
gigolo.
bombarded with media requests, but he gave his only
Well, maybe
on-camera
not.
interview to the I-Team.
Yeah.
The release this weekend of videos recorded by military pilots is
bizarre.
unusual because officially the U.S. government stopped collecting information about UFOs in 1969.
This is
when the Air
disclosure.
Force canceled Project Blue Book. But in the decades since, pilots and others continue to encounter technology that is beyond anything known on Earth.
That's the thing. This is where we're getting weird. It's like they're trying to connect the alien thing with all this stuff, and that's where it gets dangerous because you can get into Project Bluebeam and stuff like that. I just posted a new playlist on there. Check out the playlist. It has basically an Alex Jones show, an old Alex Jones show where he's talking about Project Bluebeam and how they can make like Buddha or any hologram they want in the sky, a UFO, whatever they want, and trick people into thinking that some alien invasion is happening. So
China, Russia, Japan, other countries are doing this, and we're not. Something's wrong.
like we
Because-
haven't
because,
been.
yeah,
I mean,
the technology
like we're
we
not
have,
doing it now.
the
Like
way
Trump
these
isn't
things
on
are
this.
described and the way people see them, if this movement took place in anything we have now available to us, it would kill everybody. They couldn't withstand those G-forces. Something sitting there, boom, down it goes.
Former Senate
It's called a
Majority
plasma
Leader Harry
torus,
Reid
and you'd be
interest in
safe
UFOs
inside the
extends
torus.
back to the 1980s.
Look up
It was
plasma
rekindled
toruses.
in the 90s when Reid spoke to Senator and former astronaut John Glenn about unknown aerial objects.
Mm-hmm.
Reid eventually met in a secure room in the U.S. Capitol to ask Senators Daniel Inouye and Ted Stevens if they would authorize funds for a quiet but serious study of UFOs. Both agreed. Are you glad the story's out?
Yeah, I'm very glad.
I am too, honestly.
Because now we have scientific evidence.
But that's not
Reid says
true.
he's
That's
proud to have had a hand
all we have
in
is a
kickstarting
video
the
of some
Pentagon
crappy
study.
camera
And contrary to
and
some
some
media
dude's
reports,
word. We have to
the
trust this
information
guy.
collected was impressive, he
So
says.
I'm not
For nearly
impressed.
the last decade, I ran a sensitive aerospace threat identification program
Plus, it happened in
focusing
October.
on
Like,
unidentified aerial technologies. It was in this position I learned that the phenomena is indeed real.
Until
it's so
3 months
hokey.
ago, Luis Elizondo worked directly for the
So
Secretary
hokey.
of Defense and was the Pentagon's point man for collection of data about mysterious encounters. When he announced in October he'd been in charge of a 10-year UFO study, the news
Fake
was
news,
largely
fake
ignored
news.
by mainstream media.
Yeah,
now it
mainstream.
has blossomed into a huge
Let's just
story. in
trust
part
them
because
now.
Reid acknowledges his own role in getting the funds approved.
this
Even
is
though this was a secure program,
look.
we,
This is them coming out in their death throes. Trying to control any narrative they can, and they know Trump's not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole until he's asked in a press conference and stuff like that, which has happened. I'm going to do a video on that too. There's so much coming out now, it's hard to keep up with it. But essentially, we've got people vying for power. Trump is taking them out of power, and I think this is their death throes. I think this is their way of throwing a wrench in the works as far as having their partial disclosure the way they want it to go. And if they release their information first, whoever basically releases all the info first, or at least big chunks of it, they're going to be trusted more, and they're going to have the ability to create discourse. In social engineering, that's the key, is creating the discourse yourself, the Hegelian dialectic. You create the crisis, you offer your own solution to the problem, which is, the problem here is, they had all these top secret clearances and stuff like that, and now they're outside of the spectrum here, and they're trying to nose their way back in, like a camel's nose underneath the tent, if you will. And they're trying to basically trick people. This could be Project Bluebeam. Again, this could be partial disclosure. Those are two really, really bad things that could lead to a cosmic war. Seriously, this is what this could lead to. It could lead to a war of, basically super weapons against other countries. You heard him say Japan and all these other countries have been doing these things. That's a big drop just right there, that they've been all doing this stuff too. We know this. People have been studying UFOs know all this stuff. We know that all these other countries are doing this, especially Russia. I mean, the David Wilcock playlist I have down, watch the David Wilcock videos, especially the most recent one, Contact in the Desert, 2017. And it gets into the physics of these craft, and also the compartmentalized way that they keep this stuff under wraps. Like their best way, their best mode of controlling us is keeping specific things secret. Things that, like the advanced technology. You notice how they talk about, oh, we have all this radical technology, and then they automatically move into it might be aliens, instead of actually talking about how the technology works. You notice Harry Reid, he's like, I don't know, the G-forces, if anybody goes in there, it's going to kill them instantly and all this stuff. When, if you watch the David Wilcock presentations, if you watch stuff, even David Icke and Linda Moulton Howe, my favorite's David Wilcock, because he gets more data in his lectures than any other person I've seen in the UFO field. So this is specifically about UFOs. I think that disclosure now is imminent, especially after all this. This is a big wrench in the works. They're going to have to come out about some of this technology now. They're going to have to, because people are just going to... This is going to make a huge thing out of UFOs again, which is what they want. They don't want us to focus on the global economics of today and how Trump is... Here's my cat. But they don't want us to focus on global economics. They want us to focus on the UFO debate. Like, are you a kook? Do you think that aliens are real? Post it on your channel and look like an idiot. That's what they want. They want anybody who's serious about this subject to look like an idiot. And then they're going to get all these professionals out there. We know what we're talking about. We're the military. We have all these top secret clearances and stuff. And then all these people like David Wilcock and etc., Linda Moulton Howe, they're all going to be pushed aside, because they're the ones actually looking for 100% disclosure, like release all the data about human experimentation. If they really released all the data, they'd have to tell us, yeah, we had test pilots in these craft, and a lot of them are dead. A lot of them died for this stuff, They're not ready to come out even about that. So what makes us think that Harry Reid, one of the biggest swamp creatures ever to walk through the Senate, is going to actually give us some good, solid evidence? He admitted that it's really, it's just kind of conjecture. It's not actual nuts and bolts craft showing us how it works and all that stuff. Whenever they're speculating about aliens, that's what really pisses me off, because it's like, let's focus on the technology here. That's what this is actually about. Them speculating about UFOs being connected to aliens is just that, it's speculation. There's no evidence for that. There isn't. We don't have bodies and stuff like that. You know, except for the new. Well, there's new discoveries in Nazca, Peru, with three-fingered bodies and stuff being discovered, but that's not. They're not in UFOs and all that stuff. Those might be extraterrestrials. You should actually go look that up. The Nazca, Peru discoveries they just discovered. I think last year. It's a brand new discovery. Let's continue this.
People couldn't complain that it was some sweetheart deal. No.
It was a sweetheart deal for your buddy Bigelow.
The winning bid came from Las Vegas space.
Just because you say it isn't,
Robert Bigelow,
I mean, come on.
a billionaire who has funded his own UFO studies for years. Bigelow built secure facilities inside his
alien head on it.
company.
This guy's-
At its peak, the study had 46 scientists working at the Nevada facility, writing reports and analyzing data that came in from the military. Rapid response teams were dispatched to the scene of UFO events. Over the 5 years, the project cost a total of $22 million.
Jeez.
It wasn't a moneymaker for Bigelow.
And I'm sure one reason
It wasn't a
why
moneymaker for the
is he was
taxpayers
best
either.
because he was willing to build the infrastructure. He did everything on his own because he liked the subject.
He did it all on his own.
About the UFO
So you didn't subsidize any money.
Reed stopped supporting the study because it produced no solid information.
Well, of course, Reed didn't kill the program.
See,
I wish
it
was
didn't
still
produce
going.
any solid information.
So why did the study end? Reed and others involved in the project say one factor is that intelligence officials were petrified that someone would find out about it and it would end up on the front page of a newspaper. That cat is definitely out of the bag. And there were other officials who had religious
I bet they
objections.
wanted it to be on the
We'll
front
have more
news of the
exclusive
paper.
content tomorrow, including
This is
specifics on
hysteria.
what was learned during
They're
the
not
study
actually
and
telling
which
us how the
UFO
craft
incidents
work.
were the
That's
most
why
unusual.
it's
And
hysteria.
if you want to see those Pentagon
It's all
UFO
this
videos again,
conjecture,
we're posting
what
them
if,
on our
and-
website.
Right in our own backyard.
Senator Reed
Yeah, it
looks
is
good.
right. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Thanks, George.
They're right next to the Area 51 and all that. I don't know what's playing next. But yeah, I'll do a next video coming up.
Holiday bonus didn't come through?
Come down.